Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be doing a video on the new Steampunk assault rifle in Fortnite Save the World, also known as the Duet. Now this weapon has had quite the amount of hype surrounding it because it initially got leaked back during Fortnite when Epic Games accidentally swapped the model for the typewriter for the model with the Duet. So we've known about this thing for a while. Does it exactly live up to the hype? Well, we're going to find out in today's video. However, also I have yet to do the patch notes video today. This would be the first time in a while, so let's go ahead and make sure that we don't miss out on that. Guys, welcome to the patch notes video. This is for version 8.51 of the patch notes, of course. Let's go and skip past the boring stuff, get to Save the World. So we have the Duet coming to Save the World. Okay, that's about it. So alright, let's get back to the video. So let's go and head on over to the schematics, head on over to the Duet schematic, and take a look at this bad boy. Of course, if you guys have yet to see it, this is one of the coolest looking assault rifles in the game, at least in my opinion. Looks absolutely phenomenal. The art team did a really good job with this weapon. For this specific weapon, I've noticed that a lot of people have went with a crit rating, double crit damage. However, I went with something a little bit different. Today we have a crit damage, crit rating, energy, mag size, and another crit rating. And finally, you have this perk right here. In my opinion, it's pretty useless, so we're just going to ignore that. Now, let's take a look at the stats, which are affected by my loadout, of course. We'll get to that in a minute. We have just about 15k damage, 22k headshot damage, 51% critical hit chance, 260% critical hit damage, a small 4.5 fire rate, 123 in the magazine, 4,096 range, a 2.5 reload time, which is pretty good for LMGs, and 1,062 impact. Now, why didn't I go with a double crit damage? Well, I'm not entirely sure if double crit damage would out damage a double crit rating build. At the end of the day, I really don't think it matters, especially on this weapon right here, as you guys will see in just a little bit. But the reason I went with the double crit rating is because this weapon just really isn't built that much for crit. If you were to do a crit build on it, for me, it would just feel really bad because most of the time your bullets aren't going to be hitting. Whenever they do hit, they'll hit hard, but the thing is that this has the lowest possible crit hit chance, the lowest possible crit hit damage, and it has one of the slowest fire rates on any assault rifle. You combine that all with a crit build where you're trying to rely on your bullets to do some damage, and yes, whenever they do crit, they'll do some really good damage. But for this one, I just went with, hey, why not make over 50% of my mag actually do crit damage? So it'll be doing 260%, 51% of the time. And yeah, so you could either go with a double crit damage, a double crit rating, or I've seen people go with a fire rate, crit damage, and I've also seen people, which my friend John went with, he went with a fire rate damage. So if you're looking for something that is very reliable in terms of your damage, this one is probably the best build for that. But there's just many ways to roll the Duet. It's a lot like the Pain Train, but it really doesn't matter too much. Most of them will be performing almost exactly the same, but in today's video, of course, we're going to be doing the double crit rating. Now for my loadout that we're going to be using in today's video, we have crack shot. So this entire loadout is basically going to be based around making sure that we get our stacks for our LMG and allowing it to do more damage. So we got the basic LMG stack build. We have crack shot, so every single time that we shoot, we lose stability but gain a crap ton of damage. We also have keep out. The reason I'm not using preemptive strike is because this weapon fires so slow that if I get kind of gathered around by a group of husklings, I'll be able to take them out with a grenade quite easily. We have startup from Bullet Storm Jonesy. He will be also giving us, for every single shot, we gain extra damage, but we also don't lose any stability. Then we have assault crit damage coming in from Tactical Assault Sledgehammer by 75%. Then we have assault damage coming in from Rescue Trooper Havoc, which will also come from Rescue Trooper Ramirez. Then we also have our ammo recoveries from Stars and Stripes Jonesy. So for every single shot, it has a 24% chance to get reloaded right back into the magazine, which is very good for maintaining stacks. And then we also have Waste Not, Want Not from Light Show Spitfire, which increases our mag size by 30%. So what we're going to do in today's video as far as testing this weapon out, I'm going to take it into a normal level 100 mission, and we're going to try it out on some smashers. Then I'm going to take it into a 128 mission, which is practically level 140 enemies. We're going to try it out on a smasher in there. And then after that, I'll be showcasing you guys some gameplay of me in a full squad using this against 140s, and I'll be giving you guys my honest opinions on the weapon. So let's go ahead and get the smasher test out of the way and see exactly how it performs. So I'll see you guys then. Alrighty boyos, so here we are in a power level 100 zone, and there is our power level 100 smasher. Keep in mind, he's elemental, which means 25% less damage. I'm by myself, which means less damage overall. And I also have my stacks all stacked up on this weapon. So we have 60 bullets left. I made sure to fire at least 50 to make sure that we get our maximum potential damage on this guy. So let's see exactly how fast we can kill him. If he can, well, get out of his little pocket right there. Come here, bud. There you go. Let's see if he'll rush me. I guess not. Of course he wants to now, but that's fine. And there we go. So pretty easy, pretty easy stuff right there. Very easy kill. Did not take too much, did not take long at all, essentially, aside from him pushing us to the side, but that's fine. So that was a pretty easy kill. Once you get your stacks up, it really doesn't matter. I mean, we're by ourselves, so we're not getting buffed by any teammates. We're also fighting something that is a different element than us, and we were still able to melt it very fast. Now, I also want to do this exact same test in a level 140. So against a level 140 smasher, so that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to get to the main gameplay portion. So I'll see you guys then. Alrighty, so I just found myself a power level 140 smasher. Now keep in mind, this guy is not elemental, so we're not going to be having any sort of damage loss aside from this guy having so much health. So we're going to try to melt away at these really high health enemies, because of course these guys are 140s. You can find these guys in the power level 128 zone. Not entirely sure why they're just not level 128, but you know, I'm not sure if that's a glitch or if that's intentional or anything. But we got the smasher over there, so let's try to build up our stacks. Let's kill a few of these enemies around him. And try to build up our stacks so that we can do maximum damage against this guy. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, chill, okay? There's no need for so much violence. And of course the smasher comes through. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and do that. So we got 55 bullets. Let's see exactly how long it's going to take to kill this guy with our full stacks. And from the looks of it, it's actually pretty impressive, especially for a power level 140 enemy, to be able to kill them that quickly. Now keep in mind, this is a stacks build. Of course, if you wanted to not build up your stacks, you of course could play as Tactical Assault Sledgehammer, but that's actually some pretty decent damage overall. Basically, whenever it comes down to choosing between a stacked build and a Tactical Assault Sledgehammer build, really, the stacked build is very good whenever you're playing with teammates and you're constantly defending objectives, because you're just going to be not reloading the entire time, and so your weapon's just going to be really overpowered once it builds up on all those stacks, and it's really going to be doing well on damage. But there we go. That is the test for the power level 140 smasher, which went a lot better than I really anticipated. So now we're going to go ahead and move on over to some general gameplay, and I'm going to give you guys my general thoughts on the Duet. Is this gun the best gun in the game? Is it even close to it? Well, let's actually find out. So let's go and take a look at some gameplay. I'll give you guys my general thoughts, and I'll see you guys then. Alrighty boyos, so here we are at the gameplay portion of the video. The gameplay you guys are seeing in the background is of course the exact same build, the exact same loadout. I'm in a 3-cat mission with 4 players, and we are in a 128 zone against 140 husks. So how exactly do I feel about the Duet? Well, I'm going to go ahead and be very upfront with you guys. I feel like the Duet is above average at best and below average at worst. It's in a very weird spot, essentially. This weapon is a very strange weapon. So overall, I guess I can go ahead and go over what I dislike about this weapon and then get into what I actually like about the weapon. Because I'm not saying that the weapon's bad, but I'm also not saying that the weapon is fantastic. There are definitely a lot of other options out there that will beat the Duet with no problem whatsoever. So let's go ahead and go into the bad of this weapon, and then I'll get into the positive. So the bad of this weapon is that this weapon has an extremely noticeable kick whenever you're using it. Now that's not only because I'm using crack shot and I'm getting rid of stability, that is just the weapon in general. It does kick more than other weapons. I would kind of classify it with the hemlock. Some people absolutely despise the hemlock kick, some people don't mind it. In my opinion, for the Duet, I really do not like the kick of this weapon. It's supposed to be more of a precision weapon that you can use at range and get, you know, really good damage off, and I don't like the fact that this weapon kicks so much. Then of course you have the bloom on this gun, whenever you are firing this weapon at a very long range, you're going to notice that your bullets are going to spread off by a lot. And the problem with this is that the weapon shoots so slow that it doesn't really take long for you to get to that bloom, so you're not going to be able to get enough shots off before the bloom gets weird and all over the place, you know, to really do some substantial damage. And I like to think of the Wraith like this, where you're able to get a lot of shots off with the Wraith before your bloom kind of goes all over the place and out of control. Well, with this weapon, it fires so slow, and with each shot the bloom gets a little bit crazier. I feel like the bloom on this weapon takes away from the fact that you can use it at long range. Of course, you can try to one-tap enemies and kind of pace your shots like that, but then again, you're just kind of ruining the point of the assault rifle. You're supposed to kind of keep up some constant damage. So I do find myself not liking this weapon at long range because it has a very annoying kick, it has a very annoying bloom, and the fire rate is also pretty slow, which would also encourage a long distance style of play. So I really don't like any of that kind of stuff. I don't like the fact that it has the lowest crit damage and the lowest crit chance possible on any kind of assault rifle. So there's just a lot of stuff building up. The fire rate's a problem, the kick is a problem, the bloom is a problem, the crit chance and crit damage is a problem. You can't really take advantage of the range of this weapon. But what exactly is there that I actually like about this weapon? Well, what I like about this weapon is that it has some pretty insane impact. You'll notice that you're going to be knocking enemies over quite often whenever you're shooting them with this weapon. That is a definite plus. The weapon is very hard hitting. I'm not saying that it doesn't do damage, but it's got a lot of stuff that kind of gets in the way of its potential damage. It does hit very high number crits and very good consistent damage, which is also why the fire rate damage build is really good. But I just feel like this weapon overall, it's trying to be something that it can't be. It's trying to be a weapon that you can use at long range and do tons of damage, but then you have the bloom and then you have the kick getting in the way. You know, you're trying to make the gun into a crit build, but it has the lowest possible crit chance and lowest possible crit damage on it. And then you're just trying to enjoy the weapon overall, but then you realize that there are so many other options out there that are better than the Duet. So will I exactly be using the Duet in my free time? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure if after this review I'm even going to be using this weapon anymore. To me, it just seems like it takes a little too long to kill your enemies. You know, whether it is a double crit damage or whether it is a double crit rating or with a fire rate or anything. I've tried so many builds on this weapon and I've just noticed that it does take a little long to actually take advantage of it. So as far as this particular build goes, especially with Crackshot, I would still prefer the Mercury LMG build to using this Duet. It's just that the weapon fires so slow, it's got the kick, it's got the bloom, it's got the really low crit potential. I'm just not too big of a fan of the Duet, and I'm hoping that we do get some better weapons in the future, especially as far as ARs are concerned, because I feel like this weapon is drastically outclassed, and I don't know if I would consider it a top 10 assault rifle or not. But those are my opinions on the weapon. I know some people might disagree with me, but me personally, I'm not a fan of this weapon. It's just got way too many downsides to try to make up for if it's actually good. It's a very decent, heavy hitting weapon that you can get a lot of fun out of, but in terms of is it actually really good, not exactly. I would probably get this weapon a 6 out of 10 to a 6.5 out of 10 at best, and that is just my genuine feelings on the weapon. Like I said, I know a few people might disagree with me, but those are my opinions on it. I've tried so many different builds with so many different perks and all sorts of stuff. I just can't really enjoy this weapon like I enjoy any other weapons. But guys, I do want to hear your opinions in the comments down below. This weapon has seemingly kind of split the community a little bit. A lot of people like it and a lot of people hate it, so it's kind of a 50-50 split there. But for me personally, I don't really hate it. I don't find much enjoyment out of using it personally. But guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is it for this video, and I definitely appreciate you guys checking it out. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I try to keep content on this channel at least every single day. Recently, it's been a little bit hard, but Season 9 is around the corner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.